All right. Wow. You're much more technically proficient than our end was this morning.
So
Right.
we're gonna start with a little. This is a kind of a starter home in actual Seattle.
Oh my
And
gosh,
you can
that's super cute.
and Queen Anne is a really desirable neighborhood, but as you can see, it was built in 1905. Tons of historic homes, but it is a smaller sized bungalow.
Okay, and small for
736 a
that
square foot.
was how many square feet? 2,400?
This is 1290.
Yep.
Oh, 1,290 square feet. I was looking at the lot size. Okay.
Yeah, 736 a square foot.
And then in Tacoma, on the other hand, this one is 5,000 square feet, and it's a historic home in the heart of the Stadium District, which North Yakima. So an interesting fact about Tacoma was actually the original main city in the Seattle area. It has one of the deepest ports, and so it was a port city, and naturally deep ports. And that's actually what the Toyota Tacoma was named after. I know that's not great. They bring a lot of them in here. So as you can see, this is what the neighborhood looks like looking out.
Wow, that's the view?
It's an overview.
Okay.
So this is the house here. You would have a view of the sound. This is Annie Wright, which is a really popular, it's actually a boarding school, but you can also send your kids there if you live nearby.
Okay.
So as you can see, this is all same year built, 1 year different, 1904 versus 1905. And so they're right at the same price range. And so it kind of shows where your money can go in Tacoma versus Seattle.
That's amazing. It's a huge value difference. Now, again, how long does it take to get to Seattle from Tacoma?
Currently, it takes about 40 minutes.
And it normally does, as long as you don't have to go between 6 and 8 in the morning. So we always wait till the traffic leaves, drive up there at 9 if we have to go up there, and then we just know we have to be back by 2:30 or we're having dinner. and then drive back after. But otherwise, there's really not much traffic during the day, and there's not much traffic later. So it's pretty easy, as long as it's not between for those 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon.
And one thing to mention on Tacoma is we have a light rail system that's already established through Tacoma, but it's connecting to Seattle over the next 5 to 10 years. But you know how these projects take forever, but that's one of the reasons values are going up so incredibly fast right now and have been in Tacoma, because of the accessibility to downtown. So and we do have a train already, the sounder that runs in the mornings and the commute times home as well, downtown Seattle. So there are public transportation options from Tacoma, which is one of the reasons it's flourishing.
That's amazing. Absolutely. So as you go to the next property, you mentioned the Stadium District. What is the stadium, or is there a team in Tacoma, or was there a team?
Oh, it is the high school.
It's the coolest look. It's the Hogwarts.
It is the Hogwarts of Tacoma.
Yeah.
Or of the U.S. If you've seen the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, it is actually a public high school, and it's worth a Google. It's stunning, and the football team plays actually in a bowl that's built into the side of the hill, and it looks out over the water. It's kind of unbelievable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm from Wisconsin. We got cornfields. It was very
we have a lot of water here.
So what's next up on the price point if we wanted to go to kind of a middle range?
Yeah. Cool. So we're gonna kind of go down here. I have some vacation properties to show you at the end, but this kind of shows
nice.
What for 1.2 in Seattle. You're in kind of, this is again closer into downtown.
Okay.
Doesn't get you much in downtown. But
it's 400 square feet. Just as a you know, 3 bedrooms in New York City are, if you have 1,800 square feet, you're a superstar.
Yes.
So,
That is.
That's true.
New York is a very different animal. That is for sure.
Yeah.
So this is all great. This is all great to see with that.
And that Lake Sammamish one, Sammamish is slightly further to the east, and it's actually that Sammamish is up. That area is up 12% over last year at this time. So it's actually, that is booming much more so than Seattle and Bellevue. And I think our guess was that was going to happen because people want to get slightly further out, as you know, because of all the stuff that's been going on.
Okay, and okay, so what's the next property you want to show us?
This one, for example, is in Fall City. This is a good example. Well, if Compass wants to pull up this picture, sometimes it hates this. Well,
No, it's all right.
At least it does it from the.
It's
the
5.8 acres, and now it's spinning. Right here, this Fall City property that's choosing no longer to.
It won't even upload on there.
Yeah.
It won't even show on there now.
We'll go.
Yeah.
We just go to another property. So as you go
Yes.
to another one, are you seeing a lot of Chinese buyers come in and foreign buyers, or are they still kind of in the Vancouver thing?
No, they're definitely in Seattle, and because they were kind of pushed out of Vancouver, and so Seattle, Bellevue for sure. The outskirts, not so much. Definitely, they're more interested in the being closer in.
Yes.
More of the urban areas.
Okay.
And Bellevue even over Seattle. So like this is kind of an example of what you can get for a condo. This one is Alki is West Seattle, which is you can take a water taxi into downtown, but it's considered basically being in Seattle. And then this is a condo in Seattle.
It's not gonna open.
It's not going to open. We're all having technical difficulties today.
It's a technical difficulty. Can you show us something that between like the $2.5 and $3 million range?
Yeah.
What do you get for that?
So one of the ones we mentioned, this is just an example of Port Orchard and Bremerton being a up and coming area. This is on the high end of their market here. This one that I'm pointing to, the Lighthouse Drive, 1.6, you can get waterfront, and that's right on the ferry route.
A lot of waterfront.
That's amazing.
We're looking up here in this is one we sold, for example, in Gig Harbor.
Okay.
And it is right downtown Gig Harbor, Deepwater Moorage, and that one went in the 2.5. Well, that's what it sold for.
Okay.
And as you get further, we can go over to all, and I can show you some of the other ones that.
So is everything stopped right now because of the pandemic? Are people moving, or what's kind of the feeling right now?
We are actually having a crazy busy time. Sorry to move this so fast.
No, that's okay.
I'm getting you the 2.5 range.
So things are moving along quite well.
Yes, and so the difference, things are moving along quite well, and we're seeing a lot of activity. Two of the counties, well, quite a number of the counties have actually had the strongest.
Yeah, the Pierce County, which is just outside of Seattle, that's where we live. That's basically where Tacoma is. That actually had the highest median sales price of any month ever in April, and most of the areas around here that aren't in Seattle or in Bellevue, either April or May was the highest median sales price ever for any month. So
so people are moving. So yeah, we just have about 5 minutes. It always goes so fast on this. Can you show us maybe some like super fancy properties so we could be kind of gawkers on stuff? And if anything can click through, that would be great.
Yeah, we will. This is one that we currently have listed.
Okay.
And
I love it. Undisclosed. It's an undisclosed location.
Yes.
And it's in Bellingham, which is halfway between Seattle and downtown Vancouver. So it's just a few minutes from the border, and it's 367 acres, and it's 2 homes. It's a private estate with 2 barns and covered arena. and about 5 million in timber on it currently. Room for helipad, and it's all water view. So you look out over the San Juans, and even though you feel like you're a world away, you're only like 5 minutes from the freeway. Crazy.
Wow, that's amazing. So this is 367 acres?
Yes.
That's incredible.
It is. Wouldn't be able to get that in Seattle or Bellevue. That's for sure.
Wow,
that is
that's
Bellevue.
amazing.
It basically is all of Bellevue.
Wow, that's amazing. And when you mentioned timber, I mean, is that it, you obviously wouldn't clear cut everything. Is there like a special like law or rule? If you wanted to harvest the timber, it's like 5% a year or something, or how does that work?
This one actually grandfathers in with a permit that you're allowed to clear cut, which is crazy.
Okay. Right.
And then for another showstopper, there's currently one listed for 28 million.
Yeah, let's
it's
take
an
a look at that one. Wow.
Yeah, it's it's off the San Juan Islands. It's 127 acres.
Incredible.
And if you want something a little bit more traditional Seattle, where you want to be like in with Bill Gates and here's a Mercer Island one, but like Bill Gates and all those people live in Medina.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was going to say Medina.
Yeah.
Right. We have
Houston
some weird
versus
pronounced.
Houston, right?
Yeah, that's right.
The one that he always laughs about is Squim. It's spelled Sequim, Sequim, but it's Squim.
There's no way you get squim out of that. There's too many silent letters.
So this is a good example of like Medina waterfront. Medina and Mercer Island are definitely the two most expensive zip codes in Seattle. It's where Bill Gates' main house is. And you definitely pay to be in Medina.
Yeah.
Wow. Would this be a tear down, or is the house nice?
It is probably going to be a tear down.
At 19 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
Wow, guys.
So
It always goes so fast. So you know what I thought was amazing is for the $1 million mark, you get a lot for your property out there, or you get a lot for your money out there.